Hello everyone and welcome to my second video of me, Craig Scarborough, playing Inside Pitch. This again will be an exhibition of 1989. Today's game will be from the National League, so this could get interesting as we have the possibility of having double switches and other crazy National League things, with pitchers batting. One thing I did want to update is I'm now using a really old Nikon camera as my camera of choice rather than just a webcam. So we'll see how this works. I've had it sometimes where all of a sudden the screen goes blank. So that's always fun, for a video. So we shall see how this progresses. Maybe this is a one and done. Maybe this is the beginning of greener pastures for all of us. We shall see. So that being said, today's game is from May 7th, 1989. It is the Houston Astros at the New York Mets. As people may or may not be aware, in 1988, the Yankees won the pennant. The Mets won they won their division, and then they lost to the Dodgers in a surprise, and the Dodgers went on to win the World Series. So the Mets won 100 games, continuing their mini dynasty, and then in 1989, my assumption is that was expected, and so far in this replay, they're 17-10. Entering today's game, and Dwight Gooden will be on the mound for the Mets. Dwight Gooden, let's see his statistics. He didn't pitch the entire year, so he only I don't know how many starts he has, but here he has 6 starts. He's got a 3-2 record with a 3.41 ERA. Has given up 20 walks in 37 innings, so it looks like his control was an issue in 1989. On the other side of the mound will be Jim Deshaies, who had a really good year for the Astros. He went 15-10. And here he's at 2-2 with a 3.67 ERA, 41 and 2/3 innings, 29 hits, 18 Ks with 13 walks. So he is a lefty, Dwight Gooden, obviously the righty. And let's talk about, I guess, like the opening lineup. The lineup for the Astros will be Gerald Young leading off, Rafael Ramirez batting second, Bill Doran batting third. At first base is the cleanup hitter Glenn Davis. Kevin Bass is in right field. He's batting .408 with 3 homers and 20 RBIs, so he's killing it this year. Billy Hatcher's in batting sixth in left field. Batting seventh is Ken Caminiti at third, as well as Craig Biggio at catcher. So they're the 7 and 8 hitters. The new breed, I guess, of the Houston Astros as the team started to age. These new young guys like Ken Caminiti and Craig Biggio kind of took their spot. And then pitching will be Jim Deshaies in batting ninth. Out in the outfield for the Mets will be Kevin McReynolds, a range of 4. Mookie Wilson in center with a range of 2. Darryl Strawberry, inside pitch rates him as a 5. So he's taking up a lot of territory in right field. The infield is Howard Johnson, who is terrible range with a 1. Kevin Elster at short with a 4. Jeffries, what's his name? I guess we'll find out a little bit. Greg Jeffries is at second base with a range of 2. And then Tim Tuffle is playing for Keith Hernandez. He's at first base. So Tim Tuffle used to play second base and has been moved to first base here. Dwight Gooden on the mound, and then his battery mate is Gary Carter, who continues to be a great fielding catcher, but unfortunately for him, seems to be on the downside of his career. He's currently batting .169, but we'll go over that a little bit. Also today, I'm using a little bit of an experimental runner advancement chart. I'll say this is like in an alpha mode, so we'll see if that comes up. If we have any runners advancement from second or first base with a single. We will cross that bridge when we come to it. But that being said, let's start this game. The Mets dice are in the Mets colors, blue, white, and orange. And we will start this game. And Dwight Gooden on the mound. He will be pitching to the switch-hitting Gerald Young. Here's the first pitch of the game. 3-1, lefty-righty. He is a lefty, so that's a star. And we're going to see what that turns out to be. That is a 2, we'll say, and a G6. It's a ground ball to the shortstop Elster, who picks it up. I got to start the game. I always forget to do this with the scoreboard. So start the game, and we'll actually see who's up. There we go. So it's a G6, and that's the first out of the game. Batting second for the Houston Astros, Rafael Ramirez, batted .246 on the year. Used to play for the Atlanta Braves. He's a terrible shortstop with a range of 1. The pitch from Gooden is a 4-2, question mark. So that is a 20 against a right-handed batter. That's outside the range. So we're going to go to Ramirez's card. That is a 2-6. That's a ground ball to the third baseman, Howard Johnson, who, despite his horrific range, gets in front of it. And that's the second out. 2 up, 2 down thus far for Dwight Gooden. And here's Bill Doran, the third hitter. 8 homers, 58 RBIs, .219 batting average. Really bad year for a usually very good hitter. But they continue to trot him out there in the third spot here. 3-1 for Gooden against a lefty, another switch hitting. So that is a lefty. That's a star. So we'll see where this is hit to. That's a 6. That is an F9. So a fly ball to Darryl Strawberry, parks under it, and he makes the catch. So no runs, no hits, no one left on base. 3 up, 3 down for the Astros. That will bring up the New York Mets. All right. Let's go over the lineup. By the way, also the camera has a nice autofocus feature, and I can actually hear it click every time it starts to autofocus, and I'm hoping it's just not bringing the camera in and out. We'll have to see if we can quell that. But I'm not an expert with the DLSR. Maybe that'll come with time. So hopefully this is viewable for everybody. On the mound, Jim Deshaies, 15-10 with a 2.91 ERA in 1989. He'll be facing the leadoff hitter is Mookie Wilson, currently batting .286 with a homer and 6 RBIs. Howard Johnson, an all-hit, no-field kind of guy. We went over his range, is a 1, so he'll be batting second and playing third base. Tim Teufel will be taking the place of Keith Hernandez today. He's at first with a .333 average. Cleanup hitter will be the right fielder Darryl Strawberry. In fifth will be Kevin McReynolds, the left fielder. Batting 6 is another guy who just doesn't field very well, Greg Jeffries. He's currently batting .280 with a homer and 7 RBIs. 7th is Gary Carter, again in the swan song of his career, off to a slow start here in 1989 with a .169 batting average. Behind him will be Kevin Elster, the sure fielding shortstop, batting .218. And then finally, on the mound is the tall right-hander Dwight Gooden. Made his rookie season with 1984, so he's well in his career here, and we all know some of the issues with him. Otherwise, who knows what might have happened? But he still has a few decent years, and then of course eventually went to the Yankees and pitched a no-hitter. So go figure. So here we are. It will be Jim Deshaies, the lefty, facing the right-handed switch hitter Mookie Wilson here in the bottom of the first. The pitch. 1-6. That's going to the ballpark. Shea Stadium. Let's see. That is a 5-5. That is a ground ball to the second baseman. Bill Doran picks it up, tosses him out, and that's the first out of the game. For the Mets, anyway. Here at the bottom of the first. Shea Stadium, did not go over this, but Shea Stadium is a +3 for strikeouts, and then everything else is neutral. So we'll see how those +3 strikeouts, especially with a guy like Dwight Gooden, might have a huge effect. We shall see. So Deshaies will now pitch to Howard Johnson, batted .287, 36 home runs, and 101 RBIs in the year with 41 stolen bases. So very close to being a 40-40 guy. So great hitting guy, but just could not really find a fielding spot. Would have made a great DH. 4-5, lefty-righty. So he's a switch hitter, so he's going to be batting righty. And that is a star. Let's see what that is. That's a 3. That's a fly ball to Kevin Bass out in right field. And that's a second out. So far, no one on base yet in this early season May 7th game here at the Shea Stadium. That'll bring up Tim Teufel, who's playing for Keith Hernandez, who had a late night last night, just didn't get back in time. 1-5, that's a strikeout potentially. 20 is too high. Teufel's going to put it in play. 1-6. That's a pop-up in the infield to Ken Caminiti at third base. And by the way, did not go over the fielders for the Astros. Billy Hatcher in left. Gerald Young in center with a range of 5. Great fielder. Kevin Bass in right, range of 3. Ken Caminiti has a range of 5 at third. Rafael Ramirez has a range of 1 at short. Bill Doran at second with a range of 2. Glenn Davis with a range of 4 at first base. And the catcher is Craig Biggio. And that being said, what the heck was the play, Craig? It was a 1-6. Oh, yeah. So that was the pop up to third base. And that's 3 up, 3 down for the Mets. We'll be headed to the top of the second here, where the Astros will be taking their licks again. All right. Starting here in the top of the second, it'll be Glenn Davis, Kevin Bass, and Billy Hatcher. Dwight Gooden just finishes warm-ups. He'll be tossing Glenn Davis. Here's the pitch. 4-2. That is a question mark of a 12 against a righty. That's a base hit. That's an S1. First hit of the game. Hooray. All right, so Glenn Davis is on first. Is he a threat to steal? He's a 1. We'll see what's happening. Nothing. Gooden's pitch to Kevin Bass. Bass did bat 300 on the year, did not play the entire year. And in fact, he's batting 408 here with 3 homers and 20 RBIs. He had 5 on the year, so off to a really good start. I guess he got injured later in the year. 1-4, strikeout, a 9 against a righty. That's an 8, but with the +3 at Shea Stadium, Bass does go down swinging. The first out here in the top of the second. 1 out now. Glenn Davis waiting patiently on first base. Is he going? Of course not. He's not going to go. Here's the pitch to Billy Hatcher. About a 231 on the year, 4 homers and 51 RBIs, but he did have 24 stolen bases. That's a 3-3. We're going to the ballpark. Shea Stadium says hello, and I'm going to have a G4. So that is a G4. So Billy Hatcher is a GDP of 1. Dwight Gooden is a -1. We're going to assume they were at double play positions. That's a +1. Elster is a 0 pivot, so it's a 1 or less is a GDP, and that's a 5, so it is a fielder's choice. Let's see, G4. First, runner advance, no, runner out of, yeah, bam. So Billy Hatcher is on first now. Now he is a threat to steal. There are 2 outs. He is an attempt of 5. We're going to see if that happens. Nope. Oh, but we might have a potential pickoff or balk or who the heck knows. A 10. That is a pickoff. Son of a gun. So Dwight Gooden, with the excellent move, picks off, I think that was Kevin Bass. No, Billy Hatcher. Sorry about that. Went away. No runs, 1 hit. No one left on base. That ends the inning. We'll be headed to the bottom of the second inning now. It's still 0-0. Dwight Gooden feeling good about himself after that nice pickoff. Not quite the pitcher's best friend, but certainly up there is something very satisfying for our pitcher. All right, so Jim Deshaies will be facing Darryl Strawberry, Kevin McReynolds, and Greg Jeffries. Darryl Strawberry is batting left-handed, so it's a lefty versus lefty scenario. And here's the pitch from Deshaies. 4-4. That is a blank. Strawberry takes his licks. That's a 2-5. That's a star 5, so it's a fly ball to the center fielder, Gerald Young. He's got it quite easily, and that's the first out. Kevin McReynolds, 272, 22 homers, and 85 RBIs in the year. Batting .316 with 4 homers and 9 RBIs here in early May. The pitch from Deshaies, 2-5. That's a strikeout. 12, that is too high. Yep, 5, that's too high. Even with the +3. 1-3, that's a power hit to right field of 5 against a lefty hitter. That is a 5, so it's a base hit to right field. Single to 9. So Kevin McReynolds is the first hit of the game for the Mets. McReynolds did have some speed. He's got an attempt here of 3. That's at 11. That's too high. The Shays will now pitch to Greg Jeffries. 258, 12 homers, and 56 RBIs on the year. That's a 2-6. Potential dingbat. So let's see, a 12 against a switch hitter, so he's batting righty. That's too high. The Shays did not give up many home runs. Only 15 in 225 innings pitched. So he did not give up. So Jeffries will swing away. That's a 6-4. That's a fly ball to center field. Gerald Young has it. Easy out. Second out of the inning. Gary Carter, Batted 183 on the year. So you can see he's batting 169 in the replay here, and that's pretty much what Gary Carter is in 1989, unfortunately. Tail end of a really great career. Let's see. So McReynolds, is he stealing with 2 out? A 3 or less. He's a 14. Not happening. Here's the pitch from Deshaies. 5-5. Possible error on a throw. Gary Carter. 5-5 as well. That's a ground ball to the third baseman. 12. Ken Caminiti has an error of 10. So it's a potential error, but it's not. G5. Bat out at first. Runner advances. Doesn't really matter. Throws across. That's the third out. At the end of 2, it's still 0-0. I was confusing my little card system here. All right. So leading off for the Houston Astros will be the youngster Kevin Caminiti. Not sure if this is his rookie year, but 10 homers, 72 RBIs. Did not play the first game of the year and then played the next 161. So very reliable guy. After him will be Biggio and then the pitcher Jim Deshaies. So here's the pitch from Gooden. Here in the top of the third inning. 1-3, strikeout, 19, too high. So Gooden still looking for his... Actually, no, he doesn't have a strikeout. He has 1 strikeout on the day. Was looking for his second. 2-6. Oh, power hit to right field of a 12 against a right-handed pitcher. That's a triple. Holy moly. So a triple to right field. Ken Caminiti showing off his speed there. He did have a base running of 4. So that's a T9. That's a triple to right field. We got a runner on third. Biggio is up. Now, National League stuff. Do they walk him to face the pitcher? Biggio is batting 250, but he's a rookie, so they're probably going to say, hey, we can get him out. I don't care what a good prospect he is. But the infield, I'm going to say, is in. We'll see. So Caminiti actually has a 1 to potentially steal. So is he going? No, he's not. All right. So infield in, trying to cut off the run. Here's the pitch. 2-4, range play. That should be fun if it's hit to Howard Johnson or somebody. 1-5. That is a fly ball to right field. Strawberry is a 5. So, oh, barely got it. So range play, F9, successful range play, bam. Okay. So now we're going to see if, let's see, Biggio is a 2, sacrifice fly without a throw. Yep, he scores. Okay. Batter out, runner on third scores. So that is a sacrifice fly for Biggio. And that's also the first run of the game. So triple and a fly ball to right field. That's easy. So here's Jim Deshaies, the pitcher. Gooden pitches 3-6. That is a walk. 11, that's too high. Deshaies swings 6-6, grounds it right back to Gooden. He says, thank you very much. Tosses it over. That's the second out. That's interesting. Gerald Young is now back up here at first. I'm sorry. He's hitting for the second time today. Interesting. Okay, so here's the pitch from Gooden to Gerald Young. 1-1, lefty righty. So he's batting lefty as a switch hitter. That is a star. And it's a 6, so a fly ball to the right fielder Strawberry. He's got it easy. 1 run, 1 hit. No runners left on. It's 1-0 now, Astros. Okay, so batting here for the Mets will be Elster, Gooden, and then the top of the order with Mookie Wilson. Deshaies, 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, no Ks. Faced 7 batters thus far. Pitching to the 8th guy, Kevin Elster. That's a 6-1, question mark of 19. That's too high. Elster swings, 5-1. That's a single through short. That's a base hit. Pass, he has terrible range anyway, but it didn't really matter. Rafael Ramirez there at shortstop. So Kevin Elster is now on with Gooden. And he didn't really have much speed. He has an attempt of 1. 15 is too high. Hey, Craig, now let's attempt a bunt, shall we? And let's see. So, being that I bunt as infrequently as anything, let's see. So Gooden is a 3 bunt. We're going to assume the infield is in because they know he's going to be. So that's a 2. So a bunt rate of 2. Let's do the pitch from Deshaies. Dwight Gooden is bunting. Nobody out. That is a 6-2. So it's a hit by pitch. Let's see. Hit by pitch is 0 and 0. So he did not hit by pitch. And Dwight Gooden will bunt. Bunt chart of he's a 2. So a 16. That is a lead runner. So the lead runner is thrown out and the hitter is safe at first. So great bunt there, Dwight. Okay, this should be interesting. This is going to work. Bunt. Oh, crackers. So here's what we're going to do. The helper program doesn't have that. So we're going to just say ground. Actually, what we need to do. Actually, we don't need to do it because we don't really care who it was hit to. Let's just say it was hit to Caminiti. G5, and it's a fielder's choice. Okay, so there's Gooden. Sorry about that for the thinking through this. Got to work on that. Okay, so let's see. Jim Deshaies now to Mookie Wilson. Gooden is not a threat to steal. He's got the little warm-up jacket on. He's barely even paying attention out there. And here's the pitch from Deshaies with 1 out now. 6-5. That is against a righty. Who he is? Yeah, that's a automatic out. And let's see what it is for Mookie Wilson. That's a 1, so it's a fly ball to the left fielder, Billy Hatcher. That is the second out. If you notice, Jim Deshaies is an extreme fly ball pitcher, so all his automatic outs are fly balls, so he's not going to be getting any help with a grounder, a potential double play. Finally now 2 outs. Gooden's still not going, and Jim Deshaies will now pitch to Howard Johnson, who's 0 for 1. He flew out to right field his first time up. 1-2, lefty-righty. Again, another switch hitter is going righty, but that's an automatic out. Both Deshaies and Gooden were great against opposite-handed hitters. And that's a 4. That's a fly ball to left fielder Billy Hatcher, and that is the third out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left on. At the end of 3, it is the Astros 1 and the Mets nothing. So I'm going to get up right now and press this button to keep this thing going. Which button was it? Here's hoping I don't mess it up while I do that. Okay, so that should renew the live view to actually remain there for 30 more minutes. Yeah, so the DLSR has a live view that can only extend for 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes or less, you have to hit a button to keep it in live mode. Otherwise, it'll just shut down. Hey, pretty cool, huh? All right, so leading off for the Astros is Rafael Ramirez, Bill Doran, and Glenn Davis. The 2-3-4 batters. Ramirez grounded to third base his first time against Dwight. Gooden pitches 3-2. That's a wild pitch. That's nothing. So we'll just go again. That is a 5-2 this time. That is a strikeout. 16 is too high. Rafael Ramirez puts it in play. That is a 6-1. That's a star 5. So that's an automatic fly ball to the center fielder. Mookie Wilson, he's got it quite easily. That's the first out. Bill Doran, now up. He flew out to right field. Uh-oh. Drop the die. But we're good. We got it. And it's good. Nice little deep knee bend halfway through the game. Always gets the juices going. That's a 2-2. That is a wild pitch. No, it's not. Just throw it to the backstop just for the heck of it. Now he pitches again. That's a 3-5. That's a potential walk. That is a walk. Bill Doran is the first walk of the game here in the top of the 4th. So Bill Doran on. He is a threat to steal. He's got an attempt of 4. And the cleanup hitter Glenn Davis up. Is he going? No, he's not. Gooden winds from the set position, 2-5. Against a lefty, that's a star, but against a righty like Glenn Davis, that is a nothing. So we're going to go to Glenn Davis's card. 3-4, that is a ground ball to the third baseman. Uh-oh. So he is a 2, -1, so it's a 1. Double play position, I forget, with a third baseman. Is that a GDP? That is a +1. Okay. So, what am I doing here? So we had a 2, we had a 1, we had a 2, and then the pivot is a -1, so we're back to 1 again. That's fun. So 1 or less, it's a double play. It's a 4, so it's a fielder's choice. Let's see. What the heck was it? That was Howard Johnson. Who am I? How did I get here? Glenn Davis. Yeah, I'm going to say G5. So G5, Renner at first, out at second. And then we've got Glenn Davis on first base. Okay, so Glenn Davis, not really a threat to steal. A 1 or less. We'll have him going. Oh, there he goes. Yep, Glenn Davis shocks the world here with this one. He would be a 13 or less for a stolen base. He's thrown out. And that's why, Glenn, you don't run. Stolen base. Runner on first, caught second on second. And so Dwight Gooden loses another guy on the base pass. When I say losing, actually gets another guy out on the base pass like he did with the pickoff. So he gains that there. And that'll end the inning. We go to the mid-4th now. Houston still leading 1-0. Dwight Gooden loving that. Caught stealing and a pickoff. He's like, yeah, try to steal off me. Give it a shot. So Deshaies will now pitch to Tuffle, Strawberry, and McReynolds, the 3-4-5s. Tuffle, 0 for 1 today, popped out to third. The pitch from Deshaies, 4-1. That's a strikeout. That's 2. That is a strikeout. That's Deshaies' first strikeout of the day. He says, look, Mom, I told you I could do it. And Mom is waving from the stands saying, I knew you could too, boy. Jim Deshaies will now pitch to Strawberry. He is 0 for 1 today with a fly out to center. 1-5. That's a potential strikeout. That's a 1. And Jim Deshaies has learned how to strike guys out with 2 in a row now here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Kevin McReynolds trying not to be the trifecta. The pitch from Deshaies, a 2 out. 4-1. Another strikeout. 3. That's a strikeout. Strikes out the side. Deshaies obviously had a bet in the dugout before this inning saying, yeah, I can strike out guys. In fact, I'm going to strike out all 3. So he won a nice bet there. He won a Chevy Blazer from Glenn Davis while in the dugout earlier. So let's see. Dwight Gooden will be pitching to Kevin Bass. There we go. Oh, and I should probably let at the end of 4, it's 1-0. Sometimes I forget as a broadcaster my obvious friendship with the players, and I overlook the actual. Oh yeah, you have to actually broadcast the game as well. So let's see. Top of the 5th inning, Dwight Gooden will be facing Kevin Bass, Billy Hatcher, and Ken Caminiti. Houston still clinging to that 1-0 lead, looking for more. The pitch from Gooden, 5-6. That's a strikeout. Whoa, it's a strikeout frenzy. That's a 4th strikeout in a row. That's 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Billy Hatcher now. Gooden winds, delivers, 2-1, possible error. Billy Hatcher, 3-5. That is a line out to third base. And an 11. Let's see. I always forget this. So, possible error. Nope, you can't have a possible error in a line out. Thank you. Otherwise, yeah, Howard Johnson would be like, yeah, I'll drop that ball. But Howard, you can't. Not part of the rules of the game, so you lucked out. That's the 2nd out now for Ken Caminiti. He is 1 for 1. He tripled and scored, so he's basically the entire offense. I'll say for the Astros, but actually for the entire game thus far. So here we are, top of the 5th inning. 2 out. Caminiti up to the plate again. Gooden deals 6-3, possible error on a throw. Caminiti swings 2-5. That's a fly ball to right field. There is no throw. Darryl Strawberry says, I'm not throwing this wildly. Thank you very much. That is 3 up, 3 down for the Astros. About halfway through the game here, it is the Astros 1, and the Mets will be coming up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th. Haven't hit the button there, Craig. All right. Time for my iced tea. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patience. Jim Deshaies will be now facing the 6th, 7th, and 8th batters for the Mets. It'll be Greg Jeffries, Gary Carter, and Kevin Elster. I don't know, I was thinking Rick and then Johnny. Good grief. Kevin Elster. So Deshaies, thus far, 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 Ks. So he's really tied up the Mets today with his pitching. 4-5, lefty-righty. Yep, it's a righty because Greg Jeffries is a switch hitter. Unfortunately for him, that's a star. You must have like a great changeup or something like that to be so effective against opposite-sided batters. Anyway, getting back to the game, 4 is an F7, so that goes to Billy Hatcher, and he's got it for the first out. Gary Carter actually has a rating to hit home runs against lefties. Did I just jinx it? Let's see. The pitch from Deshaies. 4-5. Lefty righty. No, I did not jinx it. That's another automatic out. Jim Deshaies say, hey, I love pitching to righties. 2. Fly ball to center field. Gerald Young. He's got it. That's the second out. Jim Deshaies says, man, this is easy. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. The pitch to Elster. 1-3. Possible error on a grounder. 5-5. That's a ground ball to first base. So that is a possible error. Glenn Davis has an error of 5. That's too high. So no, there is no possible error. Grounder, batter out at first. And that ends the inning. Again, another 3 up, 3 down for the Mets. At the end of 5, it's still Houston 1, the Mets nothing. Starting the top of the 6th inning, Dwight Gooden can face 28 batters. He's up to 15, so he is well in line here. He's pitched. There's an error there. 4 and 2. I got 4 and 2/3 innings, but that's wrong. 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 2 Ks. I'll have to check the log of that. All right, so Gooden will be pitching to Biggio. Here's the pitch. Let's see, 6-4. That is a hit by pitch of 17. That's too high. Biggio says thanks. Thanks for not hitting me in the head. 3-3, that's a star 5, so that's a fly ball to center field. 1 out. Here's the pitcher, Jim Deshaies. Grounded right back to Gooden in the 3rd inning. Gooden says, can you do that again? Let's see, 6-1. That's a range play to... I'm going to move this up a little bit. Range play to the park. That's a 4-2. That is a fly ball to center field. Mookie Wilson is a 2. Let's see what happens with that. Oh, and he's got it. Nice play there, Mookie. He says, thank you very much, Craig. I appreciate your kudos here from the press box. Makes a good play in the Jim Deshaies fly ball. That's 2 outs now. And now Gooden will face Gerald Young. 2-3. That is a walk plus. That's a 9. That is a walk. Gerald Young gets on base. And Gerald Young is not the guy you want to let on base because he did have 34 stolen bases on the year as the leadoff hitter. He is a threat. He's got an attempt of 7. Gooden looks over, and he's going. 12 or less, and he steals second. So he goes a lot, not necessarily successful, but this time he was. And that puts a runner on second base now with 2 out for Rafael Ramirez. But is Gerald Young going again? I've got another attempt of 7. Seems kind of odd. That's a 5. Can we double check that? Gerald Young, attempt of 7. I think something's wrong with that because it should be in half. I'm going to say he's not going this time. Actually, with Dwight Gooden, he is a +2. So you know what? I think that is right. Yeah, it's you divide it in half and then add 2. It's a 5. He's going. All right, so Gerald Young just can't get enough of this. He's going again, and he steals 3rd. Brilliant. Smartest guy in the field is Gerald Young. So Dwight Gooden, who had a pickoff, and then also a caught stealing with Gary Carter, all of a sudden can't stop Gerald Young from doing everything he wants to do. So 2 outs now. Runner on 3rd, and here's Rafael Ramirez. He just has to do a little bloop, a little Baltimore chop, whatever it may be, just to get that run home. And actually, yeah, something's up with that. Because now I've got Gerald Young as a 7 again for stealing home. And we know that's not happening. So I'm going to skip you for now, Gerald. You with your +2. Okay, so here's the pitch from Dwight Gooden. 5-3. That's a strikeout. That's 20. That's too high. Rafael Ramirez says, I'm going to dink it. Just watch. 4-4. He grounds out to Greg Jeffries. Well, you got to do better than that if you're going to dink it there, Rafael. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still Houston 1, and the Mets nothing. What am I doing? Dwight Gooden's leading off. Yeah, Deshaies, you're pitching. Get out there. Going back to the dugout. All right, so leading off for the Mets will be Dwight Gooden. He's pitching great, so they're going to keep him in. If you don't mind, I need to take a couple notes. We'll need to look at that. Missing one batter faced for Gooden. Bunting. We need bunting, Craig. And then lastly, we had, what was the thing that just happened that had a little error in it? Oh yeah, Rafael, not changing the attempts as we go to third and home. And that's a relatively new thing because it was working before. Hey, how cool is that? Things that used to work, not working anymore. So, that being said, let's get back to the game. Bottom of the 6th. Deshaies will face Gooden. And then the top of the order, Mookie Wilson, Howard Johnson. The pitch from Deshaies, who has faced 17 batters in 5 innings. Not bad. 4-2. Lefty, righty, that's a strikeout plus. 18. Gooden actually did put the ball in play with the strikeout plus. He is going down swinging. I think that's Deshaies' 4th strikeout in a row because he struck out the side last inning. Remember, his mom was screaming from the seat she was in saying, I knew you could do it. And he said, yes, Mom, I can do it. And he's now striking out everybody. Mookie Wilson 0 for 2 today. Grounded to second and flew to left field. The pitch from Deshaies is a 2-3. That's another strikeout. That is an 8. That's another strikeout. Holy moly. Deshaies has found his groove. That's 5 in a row for Deshaies. And now he faces Howard Johnson, who is 0 for 2. Flew out to right and flew out to left. The pitch from Bob Gibson, a.k.a. Jim Deshaies, 5-4. That's another strikeout, but that's too high this time. The 20, Howard Johnson says, no thanks. You're killing it, Jim, but you're not going to strike me out this time. That's a 2-1 against a lefty. That's an actual base hit past third base. And that's an S5. Okay. Boom. So Howard Johnson is on. That's the 3rd hit of the game for the Mets. And let's see. Howard Johnson is a threat to steal. Remember, he had 40 stolen bases on the year. He's got a 6 or less. That's a 7. So he thought about it and then stopped. The pitch from Deshaies. 1-3. Possible error on a grounder. Tuffle, 0 for 2. Popped out and struck out. At the 3-1. At the ground ball to third base. What did I say? Possible error on a grounder. So let's see, a 15. That is above Caminiti. So Caminiti's got it. Picks it up. Throws it across G5. No runs, 1 hit. 1 runner left on. We are headed to the top of the 7th. Still, 1-0 Astros. Dwight Gooden on the mound for his 7th inning. He has thrown to 20 batters. He can face 28, so he's actually on pace to throw a complete game, as is Jim Deshaies. Bill Doran will lead off. He's the 3rd hitter, then Glenn Davis and Kevin Bass. Bill Doran is 0 for 1 today, but he did walk. Here's the pitch. 1-3. That's a strikeout. That's 16. That's too high. Bill Doran. Actually, we should probably press that button again. Let's see. 5-4. That is a fly ball to center field. That is the first out. And again, I'm going to get up, stretch my legs, press the button so we don't lose the broadcast. Which button was that? I do this every single time. Which button was it? Oh yeah, that guy. Let's hope I don't change the focus. Boom. You'll hear me. Otherwise you'll have to watch the rest of this game and just assume I'm telling you what's actually happening. So, what did I just do? Did we pitch? Bill Doran's up first. Oh, Bill Doran, I guess, got out. Yeah, went out. And that's why you have a scoreboard, kids. So, here's Glenn Davis. Good and pitching to Davis. He's 1 for 2 today. Grounded a base hit past the pitcher. And then also hit into a fielder's choice. Here's the pitch from Gooden. 1-5. Strikeout walk. That would be a strikeout potentially. 17 is too high. Glenn Davis, a power hitter back in these days, and didn't strike out that much either. 4-2, lefty-righty. That is a fly ball to center field, but it could have been a home run against a lefty. Dwight Gooden says, I'm glad I'm a righty. And instead of a home run, that's a fly out to Mookie Wilson for the 2nd out. Kevin Bass, 0 for 2 today. 2 strikeouts. End of the game, batting over 400. Now he's at 400. And here's the pitch from Gooden. 2-6. That is a lefty-righty. He's batting lefty, automatic out against a lefty. Dwight Gooden getting those lefties out. And that's a 6. That's a fly ball to the right fielder, Darryl Strawberry. 3 up, 3 down again. We're headed to the 7th inning stretch. Houston scored the 1 run in the 3rd inning. And that's all it's been, and all they've needed thus far. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Jim Deshaies will be facing Darryl Strawberry, Kevin McReynolds, and Greg Jeffries. The Mets have 9 outs to get a run across. All right. So here is Deshaies pitching to Strawberry, who is 0 for 2, flew out to center, and has a strikeout, but is always a threat. He's got the 20 home run, both against lefties and righties. Here is the pitch for Deshaies. 2-6. Uh-oh, possible home run. 6 against a righty. Actually, against a lefty. It looks like he did not give up a home run all year. Or at least, lefty-righty. Yeah, son of a gun. Actually, no, he did. Because against a righty, he had a home run here. So it just didn't, with the fraction, it didn't register. So, yep, no home run. But Darryl Strawberry says, I'm going to nail that thing anyway. And a 1-1, he hits it right back to Glenn Davis at first. Steps on the bag for the first out. Deshaies has now faced 22 batters. He can face 27. Here's the pitch of McReynolds, who is 1 for 2 today. Singled to right. He struck out. 5-2. That is a blank. McReynolds swings 2-4. Fly ball to center field. Gerald Young's got it. He says he's got it. And indeed, he does got it. That's the second out. Deshaies will now pitch to Greg Jeffries now with 2 outs. Jeffries 0 for 2 today, is flown out to center, flown out to left. Kevin Best says, hey, fly out to me now. Greg says 5-2. That's a blank. I got it. That's a 1-4. Nope, I'm not flying out to right field. I'm going to single to center. Thanks much. So Jeffries is on first. He stole 21 bases on the year, so he could go again. Gary Carter's up. Attempt of 4 or less. He's got a stolen base attempt. He's not going. They're going to say, hey, Gary Carter, hit me in. Gary's like, I'm a little too old for that, Greg, but I'm going to try. The pitch from Deshaies, 1-3. Possible error on a grounder. 2-6. That is a pop-up to the second baseman. No grounder, no error. Easy play for Bill Doran at second base. Let's see, 2-6, yep. 4 up and 3 down. But the Mets do go down. No runs, 1 hit, 1 runner left. It's top of the 8th now. Still 1-0. Classic pitcher's duel here. The kids are a little bit bored in the stands, but the parents are loving it. The dads are loving it. They're like, I remember this when I was growing up. Love this kind of stuff. Gooden will face Billy Hatcher, Ken Caminiti, and Craig Biggio, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Let's see. Gooden has thrown to 23 batters, 2 hits and a run. That's it. Basically, it was that triple, and then the sacrifice fly. So here's the pitch to Billy Hatcher. Otherwise, he's been phenomenal today. So 5-2, that is a potential strikeout. That's an 11 against a righty with the +3. Billy Hatcher goes down swinging. First out. That is Gooden's 3rd strikeout. Not the prolific 1984-85 era Dwight Gooden, but excellent pitcher just the same. The pitch to Caminiti, who is 1 for 2 today. He was the offense with a triple in the 3rd inning. The pitch to Gooden. The pitch from Gooden. 1-4. That's a strikeout. That's a 19. That's too high. Caminiti swings. That's a 2-3. Fly ball to the center fielder, Mookie Wilson. Thank you very much. 2 outs now here in the top of the 8th as each pitcher continues to mow them down. Biggio is up. He's 0 for 1. He's the guy who has the RBI on today. He had the sacrifice fly to right field, and then he flew out to center his second time up. Gooden pitches. 3-3. It's a walk plus. 16. That is a walk. So Biggio is on first base. That brings up Deshaies with 2 out. Biggio says, I'm going to try and steal on a 4 or less. That way we'll lead you off the next inning, which is really what anybody wants. Okay, not going. So Gooden will pitch to Deshaies. 2-1. Possible error. 5-3 is a ground ball to the shortstop. 15. He is an error of 6. That's above his range. So that's just an out. No runs, no hits. A runner left on. We are headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Shea Stadium crowd is saying, hey, can we do something here? Jim Shea says no. But of course, the Mets lineup says yes. We'll see who wins. So for the Mets, it'll be the 8, 9, and 1. So we can expect a pinch hitter for Dwight Gooden, who pitched 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. Obviously, that's good enough to win most of the time. Maybe not today, but we shall see. So Deshaies will pitch to Kevin Elster, the shortstop. He is 1 for 2 today. Singled past the shortstop Ramirez in the 3rd inning and grounded out to first his 2nd time up in the 5th. The pitch from Deshaies. 5-5. Possible error on a throw. 1-6. That's a fly ball to the left fielder, Billy Hatcher. No throw in this play. That's the first out. And oh my gosh, Dwight Gooden has a bat. But he's just kidding around. He doesn't have a bat. He's going right back to the dugout. And let's see who can pinch hit for Dwight Gooden. Let's find out. We've got a whole wrecking crew of guys here. We've got guys like Juan Samuel. We've got a lot of lefties. Magadan, Sasser, Mark Carrion could pinch hit. David Cohn could pinch hit, but that would be really stupid. I think we might just go with Juan Samuel, who just loved to put the ball in play, right? So we're going to go with Juan Samuel. Wherever the heck he went. There he is. Another one of those mid or late 80s Mets who swung a lot and were terrible fielders. Don't tell him I said that. I don't want to embarrass him. So Juan Samuel is up. He batted .235 in the year, 11 homers, 48 RBIs. Let's see. There he is. He is pinch hitting. And that's fine. And I say cancel. And there he is. Pinch hitting, Juan Samuel. Hopefully this doesn't screw up the entire game. Let's see. So Deshaies will pitch to Juan Samuel, 1-2. Lefty, righty, automatic out. Thank you very much. Thanks for bringing up the righty, Craig. No problem, Jim Deshaies. That's a fly ball to the left fielder. And that's the 2nd out. Thought that was the 3rd out. It wasn't. So Juan Samuel says, hey, you're welcome. Wanted to really get this rally started. I thought I'd do that by flying out. 2 outs now. Deshaies pitching to Mookie Wilson, who's 0 for 3 today. 5-3, lefty righty. He switched hitting as a righty. Another automatic out. Good grief. 2. That is a fly ball to the center fielder, Gerald Young. That's 3 up, 3 down again. Okay, sub. It should automatically do that. Who's going to be pitching? Just a pitcher. Don Ossie. All right. Oh, that'll be fun. Cool. All right, so the scoreboard's going to be screwed up because it still thinks Gooden's pitching, which really stinks. I got to work on that. Another error. Let's see, Deshaies. Don't have Dwight Gooden. He went Don Ossie. Let's see where Ossie is. Don Ossie. Here's Don Ossie. And Gerald Young will hit. Okay. Hopefully it says that's okay. We shall see. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. Let's see if that works. So yeah, it still says Dwight Gooden's pitching. We'll have to look into that. Another error. Pinch hit. Pitcher. So thank you for your patience, those viewers at home. All right, so Ossie will pitch to Gerald Young. And yeah, again, the scoreboard's going to say it's Dwight Gooden. Wishful thinking by the scoreboard there. Don Ossie throws to Gerald Young. 1-4, range play to the park. Gerald Young says, thank you. 5-2, that's a power hit to right field. That's a 4. That is a single to right field. So Gerald Young is a 7. Ossie is a +1. So that's a 6. That's a 4. He's going. 15 minus 1. That's a 14. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's not. It is a 12 minus 1. That's an 11. But he's still second. So if you're wondering what the heck is going on, why are you getting kind of confused? Well, the helper automatically does the attempts of stolen bases and stuff like that and shows me the real values of the batters on the screen. And since Aussie is pitching instead of good, and my screen still shows good, and because of the issue that I just ran into, and so now I'm going to do that by hand. And basically, I don't know, it's difficult for me to do. So, so Gerald Young, let's see, he is a 12. And then the minus or the plus one's 13. That's 6.5 because we divide that into 2. So that's I'm going to say we round down, so a 6 or less. He's going. He's not. So Aussie will pitch to Rafael Ramirez with Gerald Young in second. The pitch, 4-1, strikeout, 5. That is a strikeout. Aussie K's Rafael Ramirez, brings up Bill Doran. Again, a 6 or less for Gerald Young. 7, a little bit too high. Aussie will pitch to Bill Doran. That's a 4-1. That's a strikeout. That is a strikeout. Aussie's looking pretty good out there. That's 2 strikeouts. And Glenn Davis now with 2 outs, runner on second. Again, 6 or less. He's not going. Don Aussie will pitch to Glenn Davis. Glenn is 1 for 3 today with a single. Pitch from Aussie, 3-3. Possible home run, 15 against a right-handed batter. Yeah, that's a potential home run, all right. And let's see, Glenn Davis against a right-handed pitcher is a 19 or less. High fly ball, deep to left field. That ball is gone. Glenn Davis takes Aussie deep, and the Astros have their cushion. Now 3-0. Thank you very much, Mr. Aussie, says Glenn Davis. Tips his cap, goes back to the dugout, high-fives the entire team. And Aussie will now pitch to Kevin Bass, who is 0 for 3. The pitch, 1-6. That is a wild pitch. Not happening. That is a 3-5. That's a blank. Bass swings. That's a 4-4. That's a fly ball to center field. That is the 3rd out. But the Astros pick up 2 runs on the Glenn Davis home run. Is that enough? We shall find out as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Astros cling to a 3-0 lead. Cling to a 1-0. With 3, they're feeling fairly comfortable. They'll be facing Howard Johnson, Tim Tuffle, and Darryl Strawberry. So the heart of the order. Deshaies has faced 28 batters, so he is actually above his fatigue. 8 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 5 Ks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let him pitch, and if he gets up a base runner, then we'll bring in the relievers. So Deshaies will face Howard Johnson, who's 1 for 3, singled in the 6th. The pitch from Deshaies, who's looking for the shutout. 3-3, that is a walk. That's a 4, that's a walk. Okay, good night, Jim Deshaies. Have a great time. Talk to you later. So Howard Johnson's on first base. That'll be enough for him. Let's see who we're going to have pitch for Deshaies. Who's Mr. Save that year? For the, I think it's probably Dave Smith. He had 25 saves. Yep. It's going to be Dave Smith. All right. So, let's see. Sub. That's fun. Got to work on that, kid. So it's not letting me put in a pinch or a new pitcher, but that's fine. I'll just say cancel. So, got to work on that. So, sub. This is something that worked before, and I made some changes. And again, the joy of, and actually, the funny thing is, it works in the American League, and then I do a National League game. So we run into things. And that's why they call it an exhibition game. Okay, so that being said, we still think Jim Deshaies is on the mound as far as the attempts and all that kind of stuff. So Howard Johnson is a 6, and a -1 is a 5 for Dave Smith. So yeah, I kind of play by the rules like, look, I know it's 3-0, but you never know. So he's going to attempt to go, but he's not. So Smith will face Tim Tuffle. Here in the bottom of the ninth, the pitch from Dave Smith. 3-6. That's a strikeout. That's a 10. That's a strikeout. Tim Teufel goes down swinging. So 1 out here, and that brings up Strawberry. And again, Howard Johnson can attempt to steal. As a 13, that's too high. Dave Smith pitching to Darryl Strawberry. Darryl 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a fly ball out, and a ground ball out. So he's relieved to see Jim Deshaies is no longer in there. 1-2, that's a strikeout. That's just never mind. Not relieved at all, is he? That's a second strikeout, or the first strikeout. No, wait, that is the second strikeout for Dave Smith, I think. So 2 outs now. The last hope is Kevin McReynolds for the New York Mets. And Howard Johnson, are you going? Are you going, Howard? No, I'm not going. I'm playing smart baseball, Craig. So the pitch from Dave Smith, 2-1. That's a walk. That is a walk. So we've got runners at first and second. And look at this. The tying run is at the plate, and Greg Jefferies. Greg was not a huge power hitter, but just a good hitter. Only batted .258 this year, but was overall a good hitter. 12 homers, 56 RBIs. Today's 1 for 3 with a single to center field. Dave Smith from the stretch, 2 out, bottom of the ninth. Runners at first and second. So the tying run is at the plate. Dave Smith winds. 5-5. That is a possible error on a grounder. 1-1. That's a star 6. And since Dave Smith, actually he's a ground ball pitcher, but that star 6 is a fly ball to center field, so no possible error. That is the third out. And that's it. No runs, no hits. 2 runners left on base. We've got a final. And let's see, it's going to say who the winner is. Yeah, well, Deshaies and Dwight Gooden. So Deshaies picks up the win. The Houston Astros win it out 3-0. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Astros. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Mets. We're going to work on the pitching substitution. If I look at the box score, let's see. Again, 4 hits for the Astros, but they scored 3 runs off of those four hits. Deshaies killed it. 4 hits, no runs, 7K, or maybe I think 6Ks. Again, my pitching stats aren't accurate because of the lack of substitutions. But let's see, Glenn Davis 2 for 4 with that big 2-run home run on the top of the ninth. Really sealed the deal. Game was only 52 minutes long. I'll have to check. So we've got a few errors. When I say errors, a few issues with the helper that I got to work out. But again, this is only going to happen through, trial and error, right? So this is what trial and error is. This is what an exhibition game is. This is what trial and error is. But hey, thanks for stopping by. If you check this out again, I'll do the standard, hey, I'm a YouTuber. Please like and subscribe, yada, yada, yada. But before we go, again, it is the Astros 3, New York 0. We'll have more exhibition games coming up. And I thank you all for your support and all the good tidings and great comments that I saw online. Much appreciated. And hopefully, as we continue to grow the audience and hopefully put an enjoyable product out there for you. That being said, have a great day. It is Sunday, December 15th, and I'll catch you later. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.